back at it again. It's the third episode of a series I'm doing, Live, Laugh, Love Lakers. Let's see, this week we're going to be talking about the three games they played. They played against the Nuggets, they played against the Pistons, they played against the Thunder. We're going to talk about how Bron is still looking like that MVP that he has been since he got into the league. We're going to talk about how great the role players are honestly playing right now, and how it's just been a next man up all year long. And then we're going to talk about how AD's doing right now. So let's see. The first game, the Lakers play the Nuggets. Bron had a triple-double. He had 27, 10, and 10. So really what happened this game, Lakers looked like, they looked like trash until about 2 minutes left in the second quarter. And I want to say Dennis Schroeder, he was actually kind of like the spark plug. He had a hustle play. Like I said, 2 minutes left. He almost got a steal, but he dove. He laid out for the ball. Didn't get it, but, that just, it put energy into the whole team. And I would say from that moment on, it was no looking back. Lakers just looked good. They were clicking on all cylinders. That is everybody except AD. AD did not play well. He finished with 13 points, 9 rebounds, but come on, man. He had Paul Millsap and JaMychal Green on him all game. I don't know. It's kind of disappointing to me because right now, in my opinion, this should have been Anthony Davis's possible MVP season, but instead, he's kind of taking a step back, and he just looks out of shape, in my opinion. But it is what it is. It's still early in the season. I think he's going to get it together, and we're going to be okay. But while he's been in this slump, it's actually really good to see that everybody else on the team has been stepping up. You know what you're going to get from Bron, but pretty much most everybody else on the team is kind of question marks, because we got some new players, and then the players that we kept from last season, they were a little unpredictable at times. Like, for example, Kuzma. Kuzma sometimes goes for 20, sometimes he can't score over 5, but it is what it is. But let's see, like I said, Dennis Schroeder, he was the spark plug in that game. He got everybody going, and he was in kind of a shooting slump. And he's now found his way out of that. He put up 21 points that game. And like I said, the rest of the role players played really well too. KCP had his, normal 10. Kuz put up 11. And something I really like about Kuz this year is we saw it when he first came into the league. He was on that trash Laker team. And, he was just jacking up shots every time. And, he was, because his thing is scoring. But he's 6'10". He was looked at as a terrible defender. And all he really did was shoot. And, he's had to change his role ever since Bron got there. And I want to say this is the best I've ever seen him play. And that's solely just because he's bought into, it being about the team and making the extra pass, making the right play, not just what's right for him. So I'm really impressed with how he's playing. He's attacking the offensive glass really well, and he's swinging the ball when he needs to. Really unselfish play by him. So shout out Kuzma. Trez had 13 off the bench, and our boy THT, he had 17 in 22 minutes. So he's actually solidified himself, in a role. He's actually moved Wesley Matthews kind of out of the rotation. Wesley Matthews has had I want to say 5 or 6 do not plays in a row, but you'll see how when we talk about the Thunder game that Wesley Matthews. True veteran, man. He was ready to play. So let's see. That was the Nuggets game, and that's what I had to say about that. The next game was the Pistons, and that was on the 6th. So AD had a good game that game. Okayer game. He finished with 30, but it did go into 2 overtimes, and the rest of the team looked okay. It was just really sloppy play altogether. The numbers don't really reflect that. He still has 23 turnovers, but I'm saying the stats look good because we had 2 overtimes. So, people put up numbers. But Bron had his 33 and 11 assists. Dennis Schroeder once again put up 22. So like I said, he's still attacking. He's playing well out of that slump. Caruso had 10. Kuz with 14 and 6 rebounds. Trez had his 7-8, and THG he had 10 points. So. It was good to see AD shoot better, but, that was just sloppy play. Why are we going to 2 overtimes with the Pistons? We all know what the Pistons are. They're just not good. So that's, I mean, it's kind of expected. We still got that championship hangover, but I would like us to get a little sharper and, just play a little, take it serious from the jump. That's what we need to do. But, it's also, I don't like LeBron having to play 46 minutes against the Pistons. I mean, come on, man. We wanted to keep his numbers down this season, but, or his minutes down. But, it is what it is. We got the win, so that's good. So the next game was against the Thunder, and that was on the 8th. So AD actually sat out this game. They said it was Achilles soreness. And that's fine. Let him rest, I guess. But I'm pretty annoyed at that because, like I said, this should be AD's MVP season, in my opinion. LeBron should be the one resting during the regular season. LeBron should be the one kind of chilling right now while AD leads the team, and Bron could turn up during the playoffs. But it's still other way around. I don't really understand it because, like I said, our boy Bron is, what is he, 36? He's 36 now, and he's still playing, 30. He's averaging 35 minutes a night. I mean, only Bron could do that. But, I wish he didn't have to. I wish AD could get in shape. Like I said, he doesn't look like he's in shape. And I wish he could step up and kind of be that main guy during the regular season. So during the Thunder game, it was once again, we started off kind of slow. I mean, the Thunder, they got some tough guys on that team. They got a couple young guards, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and then they got Al Horford, tough defender. But most of that team is just young guys. They're rebuilding. It's a known thing. So once again, we shouldn't be going to overtime with these guys, but that's what happened. So Bron put up another triple-double. He had 28, 12, and 14 rebounds, which, that's great. Our boy Dennis Schroeder put up another 19-point game, so shout out to him. Trez had 21 and 8, and he started in AD's absence, so that's a good sign to see him, just stepping up. Like I said, it's just next man up. That's been the theme of what's going on while AD's kind of been not playing well or sitting out or whatever's going on. Another person who stepped up was, like I said earlier, Wesley Matthews. He was in 5 or 6 do not plays in a row, and he stepped up because Caruso was out. So he came off the bench, and he had 16 points. He played really well in the fourth quarter. So that's a true vet, man. That's all you can ask for. Just be ready when your name's called. So shout out to him. We'd love to see it. Kuzma put up 11 and 10. Again, he's hitting the glass hard. You can see it with that 10 rebounds. I think 3 or 4 more offensive rebounds. So shout out to Kuz. Love to see it. So what happened in this game was like I say, it was a little back and forth. At the end of the game, we were up by 3 points. So obviously they needed a 3. And KCP actually fouled their point guard, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, on a 3-point attempt. And of course, he knocked all 3 down. And then, we didn't get a great, and we actually had an okay look at the end of that game, but, it didn't fall. So we had to go to overtime, and we actually, we ended up closing the deal, which was great. Bron really brought us home. He was in attack mode, but we just shouldn't be in that, in that situation with the Thunder. I mean, I'll give us a little bit of slack because AD did sit out. But really what I'm looking at is we really need Anthony Davis to get in shape, and we really need him to just get right mentally because he's got to be just fatigued physically and mentally. And I get it. I mean, it was only a 70-something day break, which is, from the championship game to the season, which is the shortest offseason they've ever had. So I get it. That sucks. And, I wish they had a longer break. And that also sucks that they're going to end up playing the All-Star game, so that probably means no break for Bron and AD, but it is what it is. Luckily, our team is deep enough that we can, we can keep winning games while AD is sitting out and not playing great, but that's really what we need. We need AD to get back to that, top 5 player in the league play. We need that if we want to win, if we want to repeat this year. So, like I said, LeBron, he's playing at his MVP level. Too many minutes, but he's playing great. I really hope he gets the MVP. I hope they don't shaft him again like they've done probably 3 or 4 different, seasons. Role players playing great. I love seeing Wesley Matthews step up even after not playing uh, for a certain amount of games because it's real easy to get down on. I mean, I understand it. Um, but shout out to our boy THT for playing great. And Dennis Schroeder, I'm glad to see him out of that slump. So, that's what happened this week. We got another game against the Thunder tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But like I said, Bron MVP, AD, we need you to step it up. And shout out for our role players and just the next man up mentality. That really just shows how deep this team is, and I think it's really gonna pay off when we get to the playoffs. So, I'm looking forward to it. Once we get AD, once we get him right, this team doesn't have any weaknesses. Um, if he's also defending at an elite level like he should, because he should have been Defensive Player of the Year last year. But we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you all updated next week on the upcoming games, and let's hope AD gets right. Thanks.